What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Coptic Talk Show. My name is Christian. I am the host. I'll be your host of this show. I'm excited to bring you guys the show. I've wanted to do a show like this for quite a while and bring it to the Coptic community. I like talk shows because, I use them as throwaway shows, background shows when I'm doing work or folding my laundry or something like that. So I wanted to be able to provide the same service here. Um, I have another show I would love for you guys to check out, so I'll plug that up front called the Dr. Christian Show. But the handle for it is Dr. Christian's Show. So please check out that Instagram and follow it. The same with the YouTube. Check that out. I'm going to talk about all things life. Okay. But this show is dedicated Coptic talk because there's so much to this culture that I feel like deserves attention. And, it I don't know the numbers, but it seems like it's growing. So there's just so much to it. It's a very rich culture. I love having grown up in it and continuing to grow in it. I am not a teacher. I just want to put that out there. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a spiritual leader in any sense. Okay. Even with Coptic chanting, I do some Coptic chanting. I am an enthusiast. I am not a teacher. So I'm learning online with you guys. That's the point of the social media presence there. And it's been great so far. So thank you to those of you who are supporting that. So for this, there's just so much to cover. So I'm going to read off of my screen here. I got a computer in front of me. Some of the things I'm hoping to get into will be educational, right? So I want to talk about church history, Egyptian Christianity, right? Early Christianity, the saints, different popes, councils, heresies. I'm not a debate guy. There are those people, that love to debate about monophysite, diaphysite, all that stuff. I'm not one of those people, but there are those people, so check them out if it interests you. But I do like the customs and the traditions and all of that. Now, something that I think is very interesting is that as the Coptic Church expands and goes all over the globe, one of the things about doing social media is you get a sense of who's out there, right? And there is a wide spectrum of different kinds of Coptic people with different personalities and different opinions about things. It's different Coptic people emphasize different parts of their Copticness, right? So some people are hardcore militant personality, especially about their Oriental Orthodox beliefs. Others are not. I've seen creators on TikTok that are atheists, self-proclaimed atheists, but they're proud Coptic heritage, right? And so my hope is that all will feel welcomed with this this talk show. This is not just for, I happen to be Coptic Orthodox, but this is not just for Coptic Orthodox people, Coptic Orthodox Christians. I should specify that the Christianity part for me is the most important part. I love the Coptic thing, that tends to show, but I just want to put out there that all that stuff, the Coptic, Egyptian, New York, all the other stuff to who I am pales in comparison to my hope and faith in Jesus Christ. Now, I am not what people would call a good Christian. I am a sinful person, just like every other human being on this planet. And I am not a model Christian in any sense. And I'm not just saying that to be humble. I have, my weaknesses the way everybody else does. But I am trying to grow in my ability to profess that I am a Christian because, as a Coptic Egyptian person, there's this like reflex, I guess, where if somebody says that they're a Christian, I don't know how to explain it. My point is, though, I'm not trying to like come across like I'm holier than thou. That's my point, because I'm certainly not. But I'm also trying to proudly proclaim that I am a Christian and balance those two things, if that makes sense, So yeah, our culture can be intimidating for me at times, whether it's talking about your own personal faith or talking about your beliefs or your opinions on things, right? So I try not to talk too much out of my lane. That's the thing. We were talking about different Coptic personalities. Some people believe that unless you're of the cloth, or have a beard or that type of thing, not this kind of beard, I mean like a pastoral beard, then you're not in a place to talk about scriptures or anything like that. There are those people. Other people think that that's ridiculous, and it's for all Christians to discuss and to debate and all of that. So I don't know where you find yourself, but I've experienced both kinds of people. So that's why I'm trying to tread lightly when it comes to speaking about religion. And that's why I try to come at it from more of a cultural aspect, bring awareness that way. Hence the comedy and all of that stuff. Because while it gets mixed reviews among Coptic people, some like it, some hate it. Non-Coptic people, it stimulates curiosity, and I think that that's a pretty cool thing. Whether they're interested in the history of Egyptians or the Christianity part of it, the Orthodox part of it, the Oriental Orthodox, whatever it is, it gets people talking sometimes. Like asking questions. So that's where I'm at with that whole thing. But I am not a teacher. I'm not a preacher. So anyway, this is very boring that I'm kind of just disclaiming all this. But it's an intimidating culture, and making social media content for you guys can be sometimes like tricky. Okay. So that's my experience. But anyway, hopefully we will have some fun. Yeah. So there's so many other parts of this culture too that I want to talk about, including my childhood growing up as a Coptic person, an Egyptian person in America, in New York, right? Even within my local community, I'm in the Coptic community that's in the New York and New Jersey area. All the different churches growing up had their own little subcultures. And it was so interesting comparing and contrasting them growing up and seeing the different personalities and what being Coptic Orthodox meant to a person from this church versus from that church. And it was just so interesting. The religion of it is so important, the faith of it. But even, I don't mean to say that aside, but even, just looking at the culture and the evolution of the culture, even that is interesting to see how it evolved and how it continues to evolve since, at least my parents came straight from Egypt, right? So now there are Coptic youth, that their grandparents are the ones who came from Egypt, and their parents were raised here, right? My generation are now parents. So it's just very interesting being part of this cultural hub and seeing where it's going, Um, yeah, I love Coptic chanting, as some of you may or may not know. I think I mentioned that already. And again, social media has made that so fun to be a student, learning Coptic chanting online, sharing that experience with people from all over the world. One of my favorite things to date, uh, myself and my wife Irene, we were on TikTok, and a bunch of people joined on TikTok Live, and we had people from Europe, along with people from other churches in my local area, and we were doing it Tezbeh together, midnight praises. That's Coptic chanting, and we're singing with people from like France and God knows where. It was remarkable. It was amazing, right? So my hope in this show is that I can provide the service of hanging out with you, at least this way, some semblance of hanging out. You guys can comment back to me if you want to do an interview. We could talk about maybe doing interviews. But hit me with your suggestions and your comments and your recommendations, and let's have some fun together, and let's unify. That's a big part of what I'm hoping to accomplish with this show, is unification. So that's what it is. My socials: Dr. Christian's World, Dr. World, Coptic chanting, Dr. Christian's Show, Coptic Talk Show, and Coptic Entertainment. Coptic Entertainment, I'll mention for a second, is a community that I'm trying to grow, that I put other people's stuff on there. It's so overwhelmingly exciting to see how many different Coptic content creators have now emerged on social media. It is thrilling. It really is. Old, young, in the middle, whatever you want to call it. It's becoming so encouraging to see the amount of social media content that is Coptic themed, right? And I think it really is unifying churches all around the world. I'll give one example, and growing our zeal for who we are. I'll give one example. When I was a young kid, I started going to Bright Saturday services, right? When I was a boy, and nobody would go. Those services were largely empty. And social media, now every year Bright Saturday comes around and the videos burn like a wildfire of all the hymns, and the churches are packed out. It's so cool, you know. I don't know if that was always a popular night in Egypt, but seeing the churches all around my community here in America, our local Coptic community, it's stimulated so much excitement. And now I look forward to every year seeing all the churches express their joy in Bright Saturday. So that's just one example of how I'm seeing the Coptic presence grow online, and so many people who are not Egyptian becoming Orthodox or following Christ, even specifically becoming Coptic Orthodox. I'm seeing videos of a Coptic Orthodox church in the Philippines. Some of them don't even have Egyptians in the video. They're just Filipino people singing ancient Egyptian Christian hymns. How cool is that? It's so cool. Another thing I want to talk about is how, and I think I may have mentioned this, I'm not sure if I didn't, let me mention it now. This is not just for Orthodox Copts. This is that I have friends who are Coptic Protestants, Coptic Catholics, right? And we need each other. I'm tired of the divisiveness. We literally need each other. When I think of Christians fighting, it kills me. It kills me because we're a minority as it is. We're brothers and sisters. We need to start embracing each other. So when people talk about is Christ's one nature or two natures, whatever it is, I think Christ, his nature is unity. That's what I don't think a father likes to see his children fighting. So that's my little opinion, and I present it to you ever so humbly. All right. But anyway, yeah. So not to get too much into that, but yeah. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. We have food to talk about. We have music to talk about. We have festivals to talk about. We have churches to learn about. We have Coptic, professionals out there to learn about, Coptic youth to learn about, programs to learn about, who's doing what conflicts are different subset communities going through. I had somebody reach out to me from France telling me that it's very difficult to express their faith there in that part of Europe. I was very surprised. I had no idea. He hit me up saying, I can't believe that you're so loud about your faith. I take that, I guess, for granted as an American, even though America is kind of different than how it was growing up. We still largely have a lot of freedom in comparison to other communities. So I'm thankful for that. And I think with that comes a little bit of responsibility, So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this first episode of this introductory episode of Coptic Talk Show. Again, my name is Christian John. So hit me up on social media, follow the YouTube, follow the Instagram, send the videos, share the videos. Thank you to everybody who already does that. It really does mean the world because making these videos is not easy. So when you do it, it does make it worth it. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and let's hang out some more. So stay tuned for episode 2, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.